Welcome to Sisterly Sundays podcast, where faith, motivation, and sisterly love intertwine to empower women on their spiritual journey. Join us each week as we delve into heartfelt conversations and share inspirational stories that uplift and guide you through the challenges of life. I'm your host, Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires. Let's get into this week's message. Welcome to Sisterly Sundays podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires, bringing you your dose of motivation and encouragement to get you through the week. Today's podcast is presented by Stronger Through Faith Media, helping you get your message to millions. Let's get into this week's message entitled Super Friends. Baby, I am stirred up from last week's message on Civil War and my deep revelation on the Avengers. What kept standing out to me were those superheroes. As I kneel before God every morning, before I rise, I always pray for my sister circle. These are the women of God that God has strategically placed around me, who either play a significant role in my life now or they once had. Even after the season has shifted, if I deem you to be my sister friend, I will always lift you up in prayer. After watching The Avengers, I decided to change the name of my prayer list from Sister Circle to Super Friends. No matter what superhero movie you watch, there's always a supporting cast that help the hero to be great. Whether it is Lucius Best, aka Frozone, supporting Mr. Incredible and his family, or our sister girl Lois Lane supporting Superman, there are always people that God will strategically place around you to sharpen what it is that you do for his kingdom. Whether it's your sister friend who claps the loudest for you, or the one who'll roll up in the middle of the night just to let you know she's there. Or maybe it's the one who encourages you to be your best. Or the one who'll pick up your kids when you're running late. Maybe it's the girlfriend who always has her overnight bag ready and her luggage stay packed, and she will take those spontaneous road trips with you. Or maybe it's the one who helps you to strategize your next big idea that most people won't even understand. Or maybe she's the one, when you are at your wits' ends, she has the ability to bring about that calm to even the largest storm. Maybe it's the one with that stern voice of reason that won't let you go back to who you used to be, even when you momentarily let anger lead. Just because she was there in the past doesn't mean she doesn't try her best to adjust to your future. Or she simply can be the one who trusts you wholeheartedly and will go wherever you lead. Maybe she's the one who has the money to invest in your idea. Or maybe she's the one who will pray you through. Either way, she's a part of your sister circle, and she is super. So I have now decided to not just pray for my sisters, but to celebrate my super friends. No longer should you be willing to be the Lone Ranger, who, by the way, had Tonto. In this season, it's time to bring the band back together again and let your superpowers strengthen each other. The Bible reminds us that iron sharpens iron. So that leads me to believe whatever you bring to the table has the capability of improving around the right people. So if you say, Sheniqua, I don't have any super friends, maybe it's because you're not showing up in the rooms as your super self. Maybe you are showing up as the know-it-all. Or maybe you're showing up to serve, but you got your hands out. Maybe you are heavy on the what's in it for me. Or maybe you don't have clean heart, clean hands. So check yourself before you start condemning the people around you. I get it. Maybe you've been hurt, mistreated, abused. Listen, I promise you, the only thing that victim mentality is going to get you is sympathy. And that's going to be long term if you commit to being the victim forever, rather than rising to the super victor you are called to be. Let's go back and take another look at those fabulous Avengers, because I just love them so much. No disrespect to DC Comics, no disrespect. My top guy, Iron Man. He's smart, tech savvy, a business genius, and he has incredible strength with the enhancement of his iron suit. Tony Stark, the man behind the suit, is quite cocky, if you ask anyone. But he does realize he's not great all by himself. He knows he is super, but it's because he has super technology supporting him. And he has a great team standing with him. He was even wise enough to put his friend on as an additional Iron Man called War Machine. That's the Black Iron Man. He was played by Don Cheadle in the movie. My boo thing. Y'all know who my boo is. Thor. He has his mighty hammer with him, but he gets his help and guidance from the all-seeing, all-knowing Heimdall. That's Idris Elba's sexy character. Side note, even with Idris and all of his sexiness, it doesn't take away my crush on Chris Hemsworth, right? Nothing taken away. When we are looking for super friends, we can't be blind to what it is they bring to the table. Maybe they are tech savvy, like my guy Tony Stark's, or powerful, like Thor. Maybe they are courageous, like Captain America. Or maybe they like Simon Peter, who will cut an ear off for you. Or maybe they'll go into beast mode like the Hulk. Maybe they don't mind playing small, inconspicuous roles like Ant-Man. But they also have a big impact, even though they don't need to be center stage. Or maybe they are ride or die like Sam Wilson, who is Falcon. He's so much by Captain America's side, he actually becomes his successor. Maybe there's a young person around you. That doesn't mean you discredit their ability. Maybe you are called to mentor them and help them understand their gifts. Don't forget that young energy or that young at heart spirit is amazing, like Spider-Man. They have the agility to swing into action and do whatever it takes to support you. Or maybe you've got a Black Widow on your team that is highly skilled and professionally trained. We all need that no-nonsense friend that can bring the heat. Or maybe you need a Wanda Maximoff in your life. She is strong in her mind. This is the friend that can help control your thoughts when you start spiraling out of control. Or maybe you have a friend like Vision, who is incredibly wise, but they are yet to see their true power. That's what makes friendship super. They see greatness in you, and you see greatness in them. That's true vision. No matter what you may call your super friends, it's important to identify their unique gifts. When we were kids, we selected friends based off of, oh, you like what I like? Oh, you do what I do? But as adults, we need to stop putting our friends in boxes or holding them to a capacity higher than where they can reach. Adult friendships are the best because you don't have to be around each other 24/7. As kids, if you didn't see your friends every day in the schoolyard, or if they chose to sit somewhere else at lunch, there was a problem. But as adults, we need to accept that our friends are super. Sure, they are a supporting role in our life, but they are the star in their own movie. But know, if there's ever a situation or a villain ever tries to arise, all you have to do is call on your Avengers, and they will be there. Spend some time this week celebrating and recruiting the super friends in your life. Be blessed. Are you loving this week's segment of Sisterly Sundays podcast? If so, subscribe and share this message with those who could use a little encouragement to get them through the week. Connect with me on all social media platforms at Sheniqua Inspires. The encouragement continues every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my podcast, The Black Girl Encourage Her. You know, the place where we are delivering the encouragement for everyone. We just so happen to do it from a Black girl's perspective. You can catch those episodes on my YouTube channel, Sheniqua Inspires. And don't forget to subscribe and share.